Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. Hello, everybody. This is going to be a difficult and somber stream today, I'm sure.
Let's see, we have Deep State Annex, Maya Atkinson on the sofa, My Unfinished Journey.
Okay, we're getting an echo here somewhere.
Echo?
Wait a minute, that's probably on my end.
I think it is. I don't hear any echo.
Okay, sorry.
Not here, no.
Sorry, no, I hand muted the YouTube.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming, and crying's better when you can do it as a group.
Yeah.
Captive desk.
Ilia's fake name.
Hey, Commander.
Hey, Commander.
Hello, how's everybody doing? I know it's not the best of circumstances with Jenni were here.
Yeah.
Crappy.
Yeah, I've been crying rather a lot all weekend, so.
I've been a bit weepy all day, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, and at the same time, it's like it doesn't seem quite real to me yet. You know, it's something I heard about over the internet. It's not something that I felt the personal impact.
Did you just...
I know, I'm contradicting myself, but, you know.
Yeah.
I'm also autistic, and it's like, it takes me a rather longer time to process my own emotions or to even recognize what I'm feeling.
Yeah. I just get, the community, it's just not going to be the same without Jenni in a...
Yeah. I will mention that Godless Granny had planned another stream with Jenni for May 16th. And she said she wants to go ahead with that and, you know, just have us on there to do a memorial stream on her channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, nice to see that so many people are turning out here. You got Waste to Human and Tori and Angie and Spooky. Yeah, she's been a part of our community for so long.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Yes, she had terminal cancer. It was in her spine, brain. It was like one of those that just kind of goes everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and I think part of it is that she had been complaining about pain for years that they were never able to track down. So I think the cancer probably had been going on for quite a while before they actually diagnosed it properly.
Yeah, and by the time they diagnosed it was already stage 4. This particular cancer, even in the best situations, at stage 4 is only a 6% chance of survival.
Yeah, well, they had told her the cancer treatments would at best buy her a couple more months.
Yeah, without the treatments, they were looking at about 3 months. With the treatments, they were looking at about a year. But it's only been about 3 months since she was diagnosed. So even with the treatments, it was only about 3 months.
I mean, I think it was only about a week ago that I even found out. I think I popped in there last week that I even knew she was sick because I'd sort of been away from YouTube for a little while, and yeah, it's definitely. It was a little difficult going to work this morning, and it really was. But I can't imagine that Jenny would have been the person who would want me sitting at home sobbing about her all day. So
no,
in
fact, she told me and Purple personally that she wanted everybody to be more joyous.
Yeah.
I told her. I told her I'd try, but I can't make any guarantees.
We can't.
I'm not sure if I'm doing too good.
Yeah. Sorry, Jenny. We're trying, but now I hear an echo myself.
I do have a book here that I would like to recommend to some other people. The author is Betsy DeVille, and Godless Granny had interviewed her on her show. She wrote this book, Grief for Atheists. So, it's just, that's exactly what it is going through the grieving process without having any belief in this God or, in a God or something spiritual. So this might be helpful to some people out there.
Yeah. I suppose the fact that I've been reading a lot of old philosophy recently, I've tried to sort of take some of that to sort of some old stoicism, and try to take some things from that in a sense, but it's easier said than done.
Well, actually, I got this book because Granny had been interviewing the author just a couple months after Slothgirl died. So I sent her a private message and she sent me a copy free.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, that was really nice at the time. Very comforting. And I had been meaning to do a review on it, but I never got around to doing that. Okay. And Robin and Titan. Yeah. I understand if people can't stay very long, but, appreciate all of you, just coming in just to kind of share things. Yeah. And anybody who wants to come into the panel to share a story about Jenny, welcome.
Yeah. Well, also talking about this background here, this is one of Jenny's last pictures. At the time, she thought it was going to be her very last picture. That's the reason why she put the goodbye on there. This is from her hospital, from the window from her hospital. To give you a better view of it. There's a
Well, that's why I included the old style camera in the thumbnail, because the photography was, one of her lifelong interests. She used to talk a lot about when she had her own dark room and, developing the film. And she was one who was never going to really be fully in on digital cameras, that she really liked the advantages of the old film.
And the awful thing was that she lost so much of her early work was destroyed years ago. She didn't have any of those negatives and prints.
Yeah, she really only had her pictures from the last 7 or 8 years.
This is from the first hospital she was in when she was first diagnosed. I don't remember which one that was. What do anybody remember?
That was the one in Minneapolis.
No, the first hospital she was in was in Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
That's
Okay,
right.
So it's in Wisconsin. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, and you can see like just on the horizon a little strip of water. That's the Mississippi River back there.
That's a beautiful sunset.
Yeah, and she lived in Minnesota, but because she was closer to the border, the hospital in Eau Claire was actually closer to her. Oh, Peppa. Yeah, it's I don't really remember how I met Jenny. It was probably on one of Lavender Lady's shows.
Yes.
It was at least like 7
Another
years
one
ago.
who will be missed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I met her either here or on one of Lavender Lady's shows.
I don't remember the first time I met Jenny. Honestly, I know I've been in like so many streams of her. It's almost difficult to remember. It's really weird. Like some people, I utterly remember like the first time I've been was on a stream with them, because it might have been a stream where like something very big was happening or something, but yeah, I think I'd say it was probably around 2019 and then going into the pandemic where I think I got to know Jenny a lot more, and we were all sort of talking several times a week back then, at least. And it's not just on stream, but like after streams and whatever. I had quite a number of long conversations with Jenny that so I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that. The fact that I won't be able to have to do that again. It's oh god. Sorry, I'm just gonna mute myself for a second.
Oh. Hey, Cupcake, haven't seen much of you around lately.
Hey, Journey.
Hi, gang. We hear you, Jeff.
Okay. The link is in my Discord under the MidAmerica room. Okay, who was saying that they couldn't see a link? I saw it just a moment ago.
I post the link in the
Robin
chat.
Yep.
On Discord.
Yeah, I saw that you had posted it in the MidAmerica chat and in the Twitter chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I can.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, the first time. Yeah, I interacted with this community was on the Christmas live stream a year and a half ago, and right off the bat, Jenny struck me as yeah, a firebrand, shall we say?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
she did not hold her opinions
She's a
back.
smart cookie.
yeah, and I remember the first time that 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 y'all invited me onto the stream, and Jenny and her smartassness. Her first question was, "How often do you masturbate?"
Yeah, yeah. Mage Jenny was one of my co-hosts by the time I met you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was on here before I was.
Yeah, but I know you were also on Lavender Ladies pretty much every week.
Yeah. Yeah, Jenny didn't always show up to Lavender Ladies thing, but sometimes she would.
Yeah, she wasn't on there all the time, but
I think I've been on there I heard on Lavender's once or twice, but it was mainly like when I was going on Lavender Ladies, it was like mainly Diana, Bionic Dance, and myself for a while.
yeah.
So,
well, I kept telling her Lavender Lady that Sunday morning was the wrong time for her to have a show, because what's the point of being an atheist if you have to get up Sunday morning?
yeah, it's sorry, I tried, but I realised I'm gonna need alcohol to get through this one.
Yeah, I've got some rum here and some Irish whiskey. I'm kind of debating on whether I want to open a bottle here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm holding
She
off.
had
'cause
a
it's only
lot of
mid-afternoon
knowledge
here.
about a lot of things.
Sorry, what was that, Commander?
Oh, she had a lot of knowledge about a lot of things. I remember the 2024 Christmas holiday special, and she came on the DSA, and she was just going on about all the different things about what happened with Apollo. Some of them I didn't even know.
Yeah.
That she talked about. And she had one of the cameras that they used, not the actual camera, but the same model, the Hasselblad. And she was talking about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she taught me an awful lot about photography, and even with how to tell some of the really good AI. Just about subtle things people don't think of, that just the angle of lighting being the same on all the subjects.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it was Jenny. I'm sure it was Jenny as well who was telling me she was a bit of a petrol head back in the day as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I suppose.
Big into cars.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember some conversations with her about cars and stuff, which is weird. 'Cause I'm not really a petrol head, but it's just fascinating listening to her talk about it.
Yeah, she worked as a mechanic for many years.
Yeah, one of her big claims was that she had written a repair manual for a BMW, I forget which series, but that had been adopted as being the standard manual.
Yeah,
I have a friend who has always did things with the BMW. He was, for my idea, the best expert. And then he had something, and I asked Jenny, and Jenny told me what's wrong, and I told it to my friend, and he said, "Jesus Christ, how do you know that?"
Yep.
Yeah, in the diagrams in the diagrams in that manual that she made, she actually drew those herself.
Yeah, all the wiring diagrams and everything like that.
when
So
I
she-
had that, what? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Commander.
When I had that chaos in the UK with mom getting sick and basically staying there a month longer than we planned and stuff, and having to pay for hotels all that time, to stop the stupidity. They were the only ones who helped, but they were the two biggest contributors that allowed me to actually get back to America and start walking.
Yeah, Jenny was always trying to help out everyone, even though she didn't have very much herself.
Yeah.
Hey, Purple.
Hey, Robin.
I'm sorry, y'all. I know this is hard.
Nothing to apologize for.
Yeah, I know, but like it's hard to lose someone you love, and especially someone as great as Jenny, because Jenny, I told Jenny she was a badass. I think. She was
yeah,
a real badass. I had ever called her a badass before, but I know it's hard to believe because she was such a badass. And I hated seeing the suffering that she was going through.
Yeah.
I know that was hard on all y'all too, but it's hard to let go of people when you love them that much and when they mean that much to you. And we'll miss you, Jenny. We will miss you.
Yeah, I had wanted her to come down with me to the last Ark Encounter protest, but even by that time, she was just in pain all the time, and she couldn't have handled the drive that long.
I think it's a shame because I think she'd have loved something like that as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know she would have loved to go down there and meet so many people in the community in person.
Yeah, and then and I'm sure, and I'm sure get out there and protest that that monument to bad science as well. I think.
Oh yeah, scream at the stupidity.
Yeah.
I feel like most of us are like. I feel like everybody that met her is probably better human for knowing her. So, and that's pretty. That's saying a lot about people because I think she at least made most of us probably better humans anyway, and taught us a lot about having compassion for people in other circumstances and how to stay strong and stay funny. She always had a whip, for any situation. She always had something whippy to say. So.
I mean, I one of the things I sort of remember like when she, where she really kind of I suppose helped spur me into action on something, and she wasn't the only one. I mean, I know Perps did this as well. That if you remember, there's that shooting a few years back, 2 or 3 years back, and then it was a trans person that had done the shooting, and just how horrible the fucking internet and the discourse got.
Yeah.
And I mean, people know that I've always been like always very reluctant to maybe get up and speak on anything like trans issues because I don't feel it's my place really as a sort of cis het white guy. I sometimes feel it's sometimes being an ally means shutting up and letting people have their own voice and not talking over people. And I was kind of like, if I've got a right to speak, Jenny was like the first person is like, say, no, this is the time we need our allies to stand up and speak out now. And I know you absolutely backed her up on that as well, Perps, and there's a couple other people who are not here as well who told me the same thing very much. But Jenny was like, no, this is the time we need you to speak up, and she just really fired me up to going, and it's a bit of a shame that I couldn't get her onto that stream that I did actually, but she really fired me up to, like, just throw my voice in for what little it was worth on that list, because the vitriol had become so disgusting that it was making me physically sick.
Yeah.
So.
Hello, Granny.
Hello.
Hey, I'm going to step down, Purple, but we'll miss you, Jenny, and thank you for all the memories.
Okay, well, thanks for stopping in. I say the room is open to anybody who wants to come and say anything about Jenny. Oh, I see we've got Casey and Theo.
Hey,
Thank you,
you godless Granny.
Big turnout here.
Hi, Mage.
Hey, Granny, what's on your mind?
Oh, well, first I actually found the link on your Discord for the first time. It took me a little while to find it, but I did eventually find it.
It'll be that's where it's always posted if you're ever looking
Yeah,
for it.
I know. I don't know how to use Discord very well. It takes me a while to figure out where things are. I don't understand Discord.
I have the same problem. It will indicate to me that I've got, 2 or 3 messages, and I never know, which rooms to find them in.
Yeah, I miss messages even when I'm in the room. Like I had the issue with Kentucky. I had an issue with Kentucky Atheist group where I was posting links in the wrong spot, and like they're trying to, hey, you're posting in the wrong spot. I am. Like, I didn't see that.
I mean, I'm on Discord, and I am in a few servers and so on, but I'm not active in many. I think I occasionally post in like Cheshire's Discord. But generally that's the worst way to get hold of me. So
yeah, usually same here.
Spooky
Discord is a mess. I've had people when I was doing stream on a regular basis. They're like, "Where's the link? I want to come in." And it was in the general chat, the private area, which I guess I could make everything public again because a few people that I had in there left, but I kept them out. They were like people I want to debate you because of, but yeah, people can't see the link in front of their faces.
All I'll say on Discord is, Perps, please don't ever switch over to using Discord to do these streams.
No, that will not happen.
No, not to do the streams. I was considering of abandoning the Twitter group and just using Discord. But I did not seem to get much support for that idea.
Well, to be honest, if we ever get groups on Blue Sky, let's face it, a load of us are just going to be done with Twitter anyway. So
that's what we've all been waiting for.
I only really sort of stay on there really because there are a few people that I know are still on there, and I occasionally have a bit of fun messing with some of these idiots on there. But it does feel like you're fighting a losing fight now when it comes to Twitter.
Yeah. I pretty much only use Twitter for the private groups, and it's just, rare occasion if I've got time to kill that I'll look at anything in the public areas. And usually quickly realize that was a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll click on a link and scroll down. It's like, how long can I go before I see something bigoted and stupid? Oh, not there it is.
It usually. I think it's at least by the third post nowadays.
Yeah.
At least.
If not the first.
Yeah. Well, the first thing that mentions politics, it's sure to be there.
I mean, obviously, being in the UK, I swear there's like a deliberate thing where they're just driving the algorithm with anything to do with Reform UK or Restore UK to like right-wing racist parties that are getting a lot of support or whatever at the moment. And it's you know, I'll just say if Reform UK ever win a general election here, that will be probably the final nail in the coffin for my faith in humanity. But
Well, isn't Reform UK basically just a rerun of Brexit?
yeah, well, they used to be the Brexit party. It's all the same people, but it's sort of, I mean, like right wing and reactionary types, and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the algorithm. I haven't seen anything like that posted up on my feed.
No. I get a lot of the Canadian politics because I've taken to getting a lot of my news about the US from the CBC in Canada. There are very few news agencies within the US that I can trust for accurate news anymore.
I'm not sure if I trust any of the mainstream ones, really.
I find it absolutely ridiculous that I know Iranian sources more trustworthy.
Yeah.
I won't mention the name Ivy, but I know who you're referring to.
Sorry, I have been having a problem keeping up with the side chat.
That's okay. I've been watching it.
Yep.
Anyway, that's old drama. So
I stick to Lego News Network.
It does help if you go on the very top. It has For You and Following on Twitter X. If you click on Following, you'll just see the people that you're subscribed to or following.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps filter out some of the bullshit. And keep an eye on that thing too, because sometimes they'll switch you back without telling you.
Yeah, I personally owe a big debt to Jenny because it's like I've known I was trans since I was a child. I've always felt that, you know, always thinking about what if I'd been born a girl. And, you know, just at my age, I had given up on ever being able to do anything. And, you know, just Jenny and Diana just convinced me that, yeah, it was never too late to start. So, and then I really do think it is somewhat contagious because after I came out openly, between the Lego community and the paleontology groups, half dozen other people came out as trans, like within 6 months after I did.
It's not contagious. It's just a bunch of people have the thoughts and have the feelings, and then someone gets enough guts to go ahead and proceed, and then it gives a bunch of other people the guts to go ahead and say, I want to be who I am.
Don't take this away from me. I'm personally taking credit for contaminating the Lego community.
Well, despite his best efforts, I'm still sad.
You guys have been working on me for a long time, but I haven't budged yet. You know.
Well, no, it's not for everyone. Just despite what they say, we're not trying to transition everyone.
I mean, you know, I don't want to transition, but I wouldn't mind coming to just one or two of the trans agenda meetings just to see what they're all about. That's all I'm saying.
They're kind of boring because basically the trans agenda is, will you leave us alone?
Yeah.
Leave us alone. Let's go have donuts.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned it. I actually did get transvestigated about a year or two ago.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, I do get misgendered quite often online.
What's transvestigated?
So someone want to explain transvestigation?
Basically, they're just saying, "Are you trans or not trans? Let's find out and look into it."
Yeah.
Usually people like start analyzing pictures of celebrities or political leaders, and start showing things like, yeah, she's got a pronounced Adam's apple, so obviously she was born a man, and things like that.
I think I screwed them all up by cutting all my long hair off.
Yeah.
It's like they can't. I mean, basically, I was a guy with long hair, so I obviously am trying to be a girl. Yeah, obviously. That's why it is, because no men in the world ever grow their hair long.
I have long hair.
Say, is this somebody who's been in a coma since the 70s?
Yeah.
I keep my hair long though.
I think. I mean, I won't use because I won't use the exact words that the person used online, asking like, are you trans? Because you can probably imagine, but I was like, I just responded by saying, I thought you guys always knew.
That's a good response.
Their Titan's got a good blurb for transvestigating.
I must be the only abnormal person here. I mean, I'm not trans. I'm not gay.
No,
actually, no. There's two. There's at least two in this stream.
Three.
There you go.
I'm not.
It was fun.
My best friends are trans.
Well, Ned, you're not trans because Ivy took all the feminine stuff from you.
Yeah. Ivy loves girls more than men.
Yeah, I'm another boring cishet, straight white dude.
Yeah.
This might be one of the fewer times when we actually have more cis people than trans people in here.
I'm going to say, there's so many, not so much in this. There were so many streams I've been on, including like ones on my own channel where I feel like I've been the token cis white guy.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah,
sometimes even on my own channel.
We used to tease Matt quite a lot about being the token cishet guy here, because it's like there were a lot of times he'd be in here, we'd have 5 or 6 people on the panel, and he'd be the only one who wasn't trans.
Yeah, most of the times that was the situation.
Yeah.
Shall I tell you something? Because of Jenny, I once said, if I will ever marry again, it will be a trans woman. And guess what?
Aww.
There we go.
Tomorrow.
Well, congratulations.
Hey.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes.
And she's here.
Oh, I did not know that you had set a date yet.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Nice.
Congratulations.
5 o'clock.
Yeah, well, congratulations.
3 o'clock.
Yeah. 3 o'clock. Are you on UTC time?
No, I'm in GMT +1, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. Jenny has literally brought people together, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess one of the things that I have to kind of say about Jenny, when I was sort of first around the community or whatever, I was on like trans issues or something. I was very, very ignorant on, and I still admit I'm very ignorant on. A lot of the reasons I don't comment a lot of the time is, I know enough to know that I don't know enough is probably the best way to put it. But I think I got quite an education from Jenny, and she was even maybe tolerant with a little one or two of my early faux pas, and because I think she knew I was trying to be, I was coming from a good place, but there's one or two little I might have had one or two little faux pas there, and Jenny was actually very kind in the way she corrected me on things. I think had I been around for a long time and been around long enough to know better, Jenny might not have been so kind. But
and there have been times when she wasn't. I mean, I remember I ended up being the voice for reason, and this one where we had somebody in the chat doing the whole attack helicopter crap, and Jenny was starting to get pissed off at this person. Like, well, hold on. Does this person even know what they're doing? And we end up having a fairly good conversation. And the person I'm sorry about that. I didn't know.
Hands up when hands up, and I'll admit this one of my faux pas here. When I first heard that joke, I found it quite funny, and then I kind of got a bit of an education of why that is not a good joke and what it. So hands up, yes, hands up. I used to find the attack helicopter when I first heard it, but not knowing some of the context and meaning behind that until I got a bit of an education on that one. So
yeah, I'm a little bit guilty of that one myself.
Yeah, well, and Jenny would be tolerant to people who are just uninformed.
Yeah. I think that's what it was. I think she knew I was coming from a good place, but I was uninformed. I think I've been around long enough to know better, and we're still doing it. Yeah, I'm sure Jenny would have told me a new one.
I did a stream with Jenny where we addressed a woman who was transphobic, and we also had on her 12-year-old son. And that was a really interesting stream because we got absolutely nowhere with the woman, but the son was very convinced by what Jenny had to say. And by the end of the stream, the son was saying, no, mom, you got to think about this. And the funniest part of all was Jenny was so polite through the entire stream, no matter what this woman said. But as soon as we shut down the show, Jenny was, what a fucking bitch.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Also, Granny, I earlier, before you got here, gave a plug to Betsy DeVille's book. That you had interviewed her, and she had sent me a copy of her book, Grief for Atheists.
Mm-hmm.
So I was putting that out there for everyone that might be helpful to some other people here.
Yes, very much so.
Oh, I remember. Let's see if I can find it now. I just had it. There it is. Jenny, like my counter. Or if you can't identify as an attack helicopter unless you look like this.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Athena.
Hey, Sinister.
Hi, Porpoise.
Hello.
Hi, Porpoise.
Jenny was definitely very opinionated.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
She was also extremely well informed.
Yeah. If she thought somebody was intentionally being offensive, she would really tear after him like a bulldog.
Sinister, I sent you a couple messages on Blue Sky for you to check at some point.
Oh.
Just an invitation to the stream on the 19th that I'm doing for Jenny.
16th?
Is it the 16th? Whatever's the Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the 16th.
Maybe I'm on an older version of Blue Sky. Or maybe it hasn't caught up yet. So I still have the ones about me sending you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Okay.
That was the old stream. And I sent you a message letting you know what had happened.
Right.
So, like, what, three people 3 people told you what happened there so far?
Give me a second. I'm gonna go take care of something in chat.
I just saw that, but yeah, go ahead.
Now's not the time for that.
Yep.
Oh wait, Titan's there. I may not need to.
Oh, Titan's normally quick at the whack-a-mole with any idiots, so...
In all honesty, Titan's not usually here, so everybody was here, but someone else caught it. Good.
Yeah. Well, not sure
Most
not here
everybody
today.
here is a mod.
Yeah. I haven't seen Antur here today, and yeah, Antur is usually very good at the whack-a-troll.
It reminds me of one of these times we had a troll in the chat here, and everybody was like timing him out. You just see this timed out for 30 seconds, timed out for a minute, timed out for a minute.
Are those timeouts cumulative?
I don't know.
No, I don't think they're cumulative. If one mod issues one and one issues the higher one takes precedence.
So maybe it just keeps resetting.
Well, I know there was
timeout is. It's that they're timed out for like 5 minutes, and then they come back, and if they try to post something else again, they get timed out again. And generally, if that happens 3 times, then they just get banned from the channel.
I mean,
I give them 11 billion.
So there's very few people I've ever perma blocked from the channel, but there have been a couple, and their faux pas has actually been transphobia. So,
yeah, I would have to go and look in my YouTube for it. As far as I recollect, in running this channel for over 7 years now, I think there have only been 3 people that I've banned from the channel.
Well, YouTube isn't a hard ban anyway. They can still see your stuff. They just can't comment.
Yeah.
It's not like, I think on Clapper, I've banned a couple people who's just like, and Clapper, you just can't see their content and they can't see yours. I think TikTok's the same way, not sure.
I mean, I've been very, very quickly hidden from a channel before, within 30 seconds actually of commenting. That's the one time I decided I was going to turn up in Nathan Oakley's live chat to troll. So
the point is, Titan, I didn't need to jump into the live chat because other people were on it. It's just usually sometimes there aren't moderators in chat. So,
yeah, and apparently YouTube is putting a shield there instead of a wrench now. It looks like everybody I gave a wrench to has a shield now.
Yep.
That's weird because in StreamYards it still shows as a wrench, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. That's why I had to check the other chat to see what Ivy was asking about. Orig. Jenny always used to come up with some great stories and, leave people wondering till the last line whether or not it was real. The one that she actually got me on was the one about there being an eagle on her porch so she couldn't get her package. She actually had me believing that was real. Well, she'd talk so much about the eagles around town there that it just seemed to make sense.
Well, it did, yeah. Do you know what? She would have got me with that one, because especially with the times when she was streaming on stream here and sat in her car and she was filming the eagles in the park. It was you're like, okay, this is plausible. Yeah, I think I was going to say, I don't think, whoever asked me, I don't think Oakley even saw my comment. Some one of his mods like banned me instantly, and all I asked is why he wouldn't go on like a neutral channel and debate anyone.
Yeah.
Because he's too afraid to come away from his mute button.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Bree, but you know, if Jenny was handing them out, I would have to get a ceratopsin first. Of course, if she had some dinosaurs that weren't ceratopsins, then you could probably have the first one, and I'd wait. Although they have recently discovered a small species of ankylosaur that was only about 4 feet long. So, you know, I think that's in the range that I could keep as a house pet. Let's just hope that they don't wag their tail like dogs do.
Just wreck up the place.
Yeah, my place, I wouldn't notice the difference.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's the only dinosaur we can give you.
Actually, yeah, definitely. I don't know if Cupcake's still in the chat actually, but yeah, do some if you're still there, Cupcake, a little compilation of Jenny's best responses on critical questions, I think would be an excellent tribute.
Yeah,
that would be
that
awesome.
would be so awesome.
Yes, please do that if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she came out with some brilliant ones on there. I'm trying to think of some of them, but I know there was a lot because I was on a lot of them during the pandemic. I was pretty much on. I wouldn't say I wasn't on every single one, but I was on at least 90% of them, and those streams were taking place like 6 times a week, and I'd be on there at least 5 times. So yeah, I would have been on a lot with Jenny, but I mean, there is the clip on there of bad tempered Cupcake, the bad tempered badger completely breaking me, which was.
And Jenny added a lot to my midnight shows on Thursday. She always loved to point out the different camera angles and how they handled composition in the animes. Her little commentary added quite a lot, I think.
Yeah,
in fact, there were a few animes I picked out specifically because I knew they had good shots that she would love.
Mm.
I was on some of the critical questions too, but had a beard back then.
Athena, that may be the only mouse you ever catch.
Bree, bear in mind I've seen more recent pictures of you. I would recognise you now, but I'll say that. So, but yeah, what a blooming difference. Few years makes it's but
so
that show, I'm going to be honest, got a lot of us through the pandemic.
Yes,
and lockdown. It really did.
It gave us a lot of laughs when we really needed them.
I haven't seen Amber in a long time. Does he still do stuff on streams?
Yeah, well, she's on in the side chat now. But,
she is. Oh,
yeah.
She was there earlier.
Yeah, she hasn't put much on YouTube for a couple of years, really.
Yeah, been there.
Well, I mean, I posted my first video every year the other day, so.
That's why I do the live streams, because doing edited videos was taking way too much time for me. That it took me an average of 10 hours between between writing and recording and editing and everything, it took me about 10 hours, and I'd wind up with like a 7 or 8 minute video.
Live streams are more fun anyway.
On the other hand, I'm sure I'm in a lot of TikTok and Snapchat videos.
And stop the stupidity. I hope you're still here.
I mean,
have not gotten used to your new avatar, so
I mean,
didn't give a shout out when you weren't here.
I kind of wish Jenni were here right now because she might be able to help me assemble the bed frame I have and I'm trying to put together. Not literally help, but just like, what's this? What's this?
Yep. She was good at that.
You have a bed frame in the science lab there with the Tesla coils and the guy with the hair in the background.
Mad scientists have to sleep somewhere.
Guy behind you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Besides, if you look at the actual image, there's a door off to one side as well. So.
Well, if you need help assembling furniture, I can help with that.
The thing about goes into what's it in the this thing and goes there, and if you have the extra parts, don't worry about it.
I'll probably get it together. It's just I ordered a new bed frame because I've been sleeping on the floor for over a decade now, and I'm thinking maybe it's time to get a bed frame.
Yeah.
I think that there's some smart aleck at IKEA who intentionally puts 3 extra screws in every bag just to fuck with people.
Well, no, the extra screws are in case you lose them. That's a design philosophy. It's a good one.
Yeah, the little mini foldable shopping cart that came with extra parts for everything.
But and if she were here right now, she'd be willing to have a discussion about airplanes.
Yep. Did you hear that the CEO of IKEA has been elected the president of Sweden? They're expected he'll have his cabinet assembled by the weekend.
Oh, good God. I should have seen that.
Yeah.
Okay. I should have seen that coming. I should have seen that coming.
So, Ned, what is the word for airplane in Dutch? Because it literally means flying contraption.
Vliegtuig.
Oh, is this like
Vliegtuig?
Yeah.
Is this like Flugzeug in German?
Literally flying.
It's like flying contraption. Yeah.
Yeah. The German word is flying thing.
In German is the same. It's Flugzeug.
Yeah.
It is only the German word for flying contraption.
Yeah, flying thing.
Yeah, I can actually only say one thing in Dutch, and so that's
You
basically.
can say more than that because there's a fuck ton of words which are the same in English.
I know, but it's
like here.
I did have to say I did. I think last time I was in Alkmaar, so it's like I just tried it. So een biertje alsjeblieft.
Yeah, een biertje alsjeblieft.
I don't think I quite pronounced it quite right, but
een bier alsjeblieft. That's it.
Yeah.
Always works.
Yeah. I mean, they could tell I was British, I'm sure, but I think they actually appreciated me trying.
Yeah, but you know what they have in the Dutch bars, what they like the most, when you just say beer and then you put on the number of fingers up. How many beers do you want?
Yeah. Well, I love the Netherlands. It's something where I tried it, but I mean I think like a lot of British tourists, yes, I sort of went to Amsterdam, but but then the thing is, like the last few times, I've kind of just used Amsterdam as a base and then got on the train and gone to other places, and then and then sort of went back to Amsterdam because it was sort of central and it wasn't far from the airport, so.
And I'm not even in Holland like people call it. Holland is the west coast of.
I was going to say Holland's part of the Netherlands. It's not the
Yeah,
whole.
Holland is the west coast. I live in Friesland, Frisia. And Frisia, that is the Scotland from the Netherlands. Because we're as crazy as the Scottish, and we're as crazy as the Vikings.
It's like you like Scotland without the mountains.
Yeah, we were really flat Scotland.
Well, I think beer is one word that is recognized pretty much worldwide, except maybe France, and it's like they know the word, but they'll just sneer at you for it.
Yep.
In Spanish, it's a cerveza.
Cerveza is it Spanish? I was going to say, yeah.
Dos cervezas, por favor.
But French, but then like French isn't. French is quite easy for me. I'm like, je voudrais un bière, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah, bière.
Yeah, well.
German, Flugzeugfahrzeug, Werkzeug. German is simple. I also speak German. I think sometimes I speak better German than English.
I have learned a couple of sentences in Hindi as well, and that maybe that's because I was having a little issue with scam callers a while ago.
I definitely know more German than Dutch, and that's largely because the Dutch didn't have very many ships in World War II.
So in Dutch, how would I say your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries?
Your mother was a hamster and your father. I didn't understand what you said after that.
It's a Monty Python reference.
Oh, okay.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
I fought in your general direction.
Yeah, that was from the French years in the Holy Grail.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That I shit on you. Yeah.
Jenni also had a unique sense of humor that, sometimes it came off kind of coarse and dark, but she really landed some.
Yeah, but that was why Ivy and Jenni were always such a team when they were breaking down some flat earther or some other idiot.
Yeah.
Like putting these snarky remarks at these idiots. Thank you, theoretically. Theoretically. Ja.
I can't imagine.
Mein Deutsch ist nicht so verdammt scheiße, als es einmal hat gewesen. Also.
Can't imagine anyone being snarky for any reason, but was Jenni the one who told the joke I heard a few weeks ago where I don't want to kink shame, but I don't understand how anyone can be in disgust. I don't want to kink shame Christy Gnome's husband. I still can't get it right. I don't want to kink shame Byron Gnome, but I don't understand how anyone can be into something as disgusting as Christy Gnome.
Yeah.
I heard this guy, this Jack Cocciarella, this political commentator on YouTube, calling her Christy Noem. What is it, Christy Gnome or Christy Noem? I think gnome is more like gnome. You know where the G is silent.
Yeah, there's no gnome in her name. It's Noem.
Yeah. Noem.
So if it was Noem, it would be just no.
Yes. She is now ex-secretary puppy murderer.
Yeah, well, she just got shuffled off to another department where they can keep her hidden.
I prefer to think she got sent to a farm in upstate New York that's very pretty.
Yeah.
Where she can run. Okay, that's not. I don't need to go there.
I know where it goes. Oh, we should back.
It's been. Wow. Is anyone going to pull stuff from her Substack? I know she was doing that.
Oh. I don't have anything, but I was
Yeah, I have to wonder. Sorry. I'm just wondering if Shield of Americas is a real thing or if Donald Trump had recently watched the Avengers and thought it was real.
Yeah, he seems to take a lot from TV.
Could go either way.
Like taking the Space Force logo from Star Trek. Okay.
I don't know. So someone should probably like archive her Substack in some way too, but I don't know how long she was at that because I know she started it a little while ago.
I gather. I found it interesting looking on Twitter that we seem to have we over this side of the pond seem to have irritated a lot of MAGA types because there were red coats on the White House lawn for the King's visit yesterday. So,
did you see that they greeted him with Australian flags?
I see. Yes, I
No.
did. Well, I suppose technically he is the head of state of Australia as well, but yeah.
True, but
I wonder if that was a statement about Australia being a prison colony.
I think it was the workers didn't know the difference between a Brit flag and an Australian flag.
Oh, you mean King Charles, not Donald Trump?
Mm.
I thought it was the Redcoats greeting Donald Trump.
Well, I mean, there's actually like some like MAGA people who are really upset that they had this because they had this obviously display, and like, they were all like US soldiers, but some were obviously dressed up as Brits, and some were dressed up as like colonial, like the colonial army, sort of the Continental Army. Sorry, but there was but I just loved the general lack of history knowledge. And the last time redcoats were on the White House lawn is when they signed the surrender in like 1776. I'm like, you are not being serious here, right?
That's.
I said there was a little incident in 1814 when the British soldiers were there, or well,
Well, Maya is bringing up the key thing you need to remember about MAGA that Jenny would also agree with.
They're really stupid.
They are very, very stupid. But
this I saw this posted by Jenny's cousin when we were looking at the goodbye post.
The only thing I can say though is looking at the amount of stupid people from our country that are posting on the internet. We no longer have the right to look down on Americans with any sense of superiority whatsoever. So
yeah, I'm afraid Trump let the idiots in the UK know that they could be public too.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the photo. It should be on the front page of every single newspaper here in America today by Brian and Tyler Cohen. You kind of gotta love the expression that these guys have.
The way we should have dealt with Trump is the same way we eventually decided to deal with another toxic individual. The press should have ignored him.
Wait, is
Yes.
he still alive on the picture?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's just
I
sleeping.
thought he was dead.
No,
He looked like he looked like
he
he
just
just
kept
kicked
falling
the
asleep during the conference.
I just
If
thinking
only
about
he was
this.
that way.
I just thinking about this. This reminds me of a little story about Jenny when I had to sort of correct her on something. Actually, when she went off on, I can't remember who it was, but it was obviously another a British person. I don't think she didn't realise that it was a British person, because they were sort of saying that they're a Republican, and Jenny's like, obviously Republican in Britain and Republican in the US have two very different connotations. And I don't think she realised she was speaking to a Brit, and I just said I had to point out to her, the guy's one of my lot, Jenny. It just means we're an anti-monarchist. In that sense, I'm a Republican.
Yeah,
so,
it's a different context over there.
It's a different meaning to what it means in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trump's. Honestly, I should probably start investing in like stocks for companies that make alcoholic beverage, because sales are going to skyrocket the day it happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, U.S. alcohol sales are way down because basically Canada is boycotting any alcohol made in the U.S., which used to be our biggest export market.
It's amazing what happens when you.
Are you guys talking about this?
It's amazing what happens when you piss other countries off by putting tariffs on them. They just say, we don't need you.
And threatening to invade them.
Yeah, Trump's talk about making Canada the 51st state is what really put them off.
I don't know. I'm down for Indiana being like the 13th province of Canada.
Well, I think it's interesting that our right wingers, like a few weeks ago, were all for us becoming the 51st state, and then all of a sudden, it's like they've had an existential crisis because Trump said he's going to look into the sovereignty of the Falkland Islands / Malvinas with Argentina, and it's like because he's pissed, because he's a little pissed with us at the moment.
Yeah.
Because he can't make his mind up whether he wants our help or not in bombing the fuck out of Iran. So, I thought it was a really weird thing because it's the right wingers in our country. It's like one of the things they'll always invoke is the Falklands War, especially when they want to sing Margaret Thatcher's praises, which they do. So it's like they all loved Donald Trump as well. So it was like they suddenly had an existential crisis when he was like making threats around the Falklands.
Wasn't the game Warhammer 40k supposed to be like a satire of British politics of the 80s?
Yeah, probably it was.
Well, maybe there'll be some use for the fact that I can still remember Mark Russell's Battle Hymn of the Falklands. Maybe I'll get to sing it online here now, huh?
Oh, I think I know. You only ever used rotated between 3 songs, right? 3 melodies.
The famous story of the Falklands War is that the Argentine military actually sunk a HMS Sheffield, and as the crew was abandoning ship, they all started singing Monty Python's "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life."
Yeah, I remember Mark Russell's song, and especially one line in there was, "What matter if we start a world war in a fight for a pile of penguin dung?"
Penguin dung. Commander's got a lot of that.
Always. on the bright side of life.
Yeah.
And yes, this is an AI of mom.
Do you know that?
Glober Dag you permission.
Do you know that it is actually a the way that they estimate the penguin population in Antarctica is by how wide the smears of penguin dung are?
Oh, I'm just saying, Titans pointed out in the chat that apparently the Australian flag thing wasn't actually real. It was a pic from when 2019, when the former Aussie PM Scott Morrison was visiting. So I mean, there is so much bullshit online. We're going to unfortunately maybe catch one and not.
Yeah, it's getting hard to tell what's real and what's not out there.
Yeah. Mike, if you want an alcohol-free substitute to champagne, I would suggest either some sparkling grape juice or some sparkling apple cider.
I usually like the clearly Canadian. And what are you doing, Porpoise?
Winding up an emergency weather radio.
Oh,
you mute?
Yep.
Oh, that's I didn't think that would come through though.
Yeah, I was definitely picking it up. Yeah, no, I think that if Canada was going to pick us up, they would leave at least the southeastern U.S. behind. Like, everything from Texas east to the Atlantic coast.
That leaves.
I think, the best way, I've seen it divided on a map where it could work. You could have the United States of Canada and then a country called Magistan down at the bottom.
Unfortunately, I'll be stuck in there.
Want to live in Magistan, immigrate?
Yeah.
I've also seen the United States.
Canada gets the Northeast and the West Coast and Minnesota.
We'll take. I'm sure they'll take. You, Amanda, and Godless Engineer. I'm sure will be welcome refugees.
Might need to take me too.
Well, I think we just need to trade all the Republicans in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Indiana for all the Democrats in Mississippi, Georgia, and Louisiana.
Yeah, it's kind of like my suggestion. We take all the Republicans in Florida and swap them with all the Democrats in Texas.
Yep.
We'll get you two, Titan.
Well, I've also seen like the southern United States, like and to like Arizona or New Mexico, whichever one comes first.
The long and short of it is it'll come down to being like the largest prisoner exchange in history.
Yep.
Yeah, but I've seen the same map where it's divided into the United States of Canada and Jesus Land.
Yeah.
There's some in that little palette cleanser. I know.
When they deport Jesus for being a brown Palestinian?
Oh, Jesus would never get through an airport in the U.S. today.
I know Jenny liked dogs, so there's a little video I found. Helps if I hit the right button.
I don't. I mean, I think I might have mentioned at one time if you're hearing this for the first time, but one of my hobbies I used to do. I actually used to be an American Civil War reenactor. Now I was obviously very much in the Blue Jackets, so I wasn't going to portray a Confederate. But there's one time last time I was in the United States, it was in Kentucky, and I actually got talking to some Confederate reenactor, and he actually had his buckle on there, and it said CSA. And I remember my friend Paul turning around and says, CSA, what does that actually stand for? He says, oh, that's the Confederate States of America. He says, and my friend Paul says, that's funny. He says, I thought it stood for couldn't save Atlanta.
Yeah.
Since Mage brought up doggies, I have a picture here of Jenny's beloved doggie that she was
good. I
talking
was hoping you have that up. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I forget his name now though. But yeah, she had lost her dog years ago, and she still got tearful every time she was talking about him.
No, dogs, I mean.
Oh yeah, I still get choked up about cats I lost 10 years ago.
And I never my dog, but I still miss June. I mean,
The kitten's trained with Odin. Don't worry.
Oops.
Why am I seeing a video?
I almost kicked Mage off because I had my pointer on the wrong dog.
Careful there.
So what is this rumor about Jordan Peterson being dead? That is the weirdest video I've seen on my feed for a while.
I had not heard about that.
About what being dead?
Jordan Peterson.
Oh,
I don't think that's true.
probably. I don't know.
I've heard rumors, and he's not doing too good. I do know he isn't doing good, but I don't think he's dead yet.
I had heard something recently. The I forget his first name. The guy that runs PragerU.
Dennis Prager.
Yeah, that apparently he had become paralyzed a while back. That he had an accident at home, that he fell and basically paralyzed from the neck down. So has anyone else heard about that?
I had no idea.
Yeah, I forget.
Nobody is a miserable sack of shit.
Yeah, no. Actually, I think that it was Service and Voice Rhino were talking, and it came up in one of their streams. You know, so I know it was someone who was trustworthy, but yeah, I hadn't heard about it before.
2020.
That Ivy once got a very angry comment from PragerU, and I had no idea what it was because of one of her anti-religious videos. Ivy, this is a tiny little YouTuber with like 300 subscribers.
Let's see. He had a fall in 2024, leaving him paralyzed from the neck down, and he's claiming recovery as a miracle.
Ah.
Yeah.
And as for
it's a miracle. Praise the Jesus.
As for Jordan Peterson, and he's suffering from a inflammatory respiratory response syndrome, a chronic inflammatory response syndrome, potentially stemming from long-term mold exposure.
Ew. Yeah.
Did you see the expose by Paula Gia and Shannon Q on Wes Huff's claims about a miraculous cure from paralysis?
No.
That was really interesting because Wes Huff went on saying that when he was 10, that he was cured of paralysis, and he was. Don't get me wrong, he was, but he had a disease, and Shannon Q tells you exactly what the disease is, and he had it following an illness, and it did leave him a paraplegic for a time, but it is a treatable illness, and it was treated, and because of the medical treatment he received, he recovered. Shannon Q has the same thing, but she did not fully recover. She developed MS as a result of it.
Yeah.
And so she was talking about, what the recovery is. It's different for different ages, but for someone like Wes Huff to have a full recovery isn't at all unusual because he was a child.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if anyone else saw this today, but Trump tried. I don't even know if he can do this, but Trump fired the National Science Foundation Board.
The entire board?
Yes.
Jesus.
Trump has fired a lot of people that he didn't have the authority over.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Congress has done nothing about it.
I don't think he didn't establish the National Science Foundation, nor do I think he has any power over it. I think that's a congressional independent body.
Yeah, he's been using a lot
Are
of
they
things
the
that are supposed to be
government
under them.
Yep. Although they have managed to launch an investigation of Trump's DOJ over why they haven't released all the Epstein files yet.
Yeah, I think Titan's correct about what it is.
I once read this line, not even long ago, but this line of, "Hey Trump, if the Epstein files are fake and don't exist, why do they need to be redacted?"
I thought this was the whole reason behind like the Artemis project, is that Trump's looking for somewhere to bury the Epstein files.
No, you see,
Yeah, they are on the moon.
You see, the Epstein files are all created by the Democrats that were on Penn Bundy's table, ready to be released, and they all incriminate just Democrats.
Yeah.
Well,
they can throw they can completely destroy the Epstein file what they want, but we just have to ask Iran because they also have them.
Oh, and also Trump is completely exonerated from the files that don't exist that only incriminate the Democrats.
Well, the UK also has them because the UK is having to investigate their own royal family over this.
Yes, and our Prime Minister's has been in a bit of trouble because the guy he appointed as the ambassador to the United States, his name's all over the Epstein files. A bloke called Lord Peter Mandelson, who is actually you guys have probably never heard of him, but he is literally known as the Prince of Darkness in the UK and has been for many years.
It's and the one time that Trump called the cops on Epstein during the time that he was having a little bit of a falling out with him, completely he shows that he was against Epstein entirely, despite it being in there 38,000 times the ones that we've seen.
I mean, this is just going to be another thing that's going to be undone as soon as Trump is out of power. I don't even know why he tried. But I think he wants to appoint people he thinks do his correct science. And
well, even when Trump was saying that he had, cut Epstein off and was no longer friends with him, the dispute was because Epstein had stole a young girl from Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, it was during that time. It was only a brief time though that they were kind of on odds with each other, and this one thing in the Epstein files is from that time.
Yeah, but doesn't that say something that the only time they had a falling out was because Trump lost a teenage girl to Epstein?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Trump, we know how petty the man has always been. One of the famous ones is like, there was a guy who in Britain, and he has a lot of similar qualities to Trump. Was Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine's father. But he one of the things that actually bankrupted Maxwell's empire was he bought the newspaper, the New York Daily News. Well, there was another bidder for that newspaper, and the other bidder was one Donald Trump, and Maxwell beat him to the bid, and Maxwell was supposed invited because he'd had Trump for these as a guest at some of his parties on his private yacht for a few days, but Trump was in had such a hissy fit because Maxwell had beaten him to acquire that newspaper that he refused to attend, which of course Maxwell ended up paying more money than the thing was worth, and just because he wanted to get a newspaper in the United States just so he could say he's competing with Murdoch. It was an ego thing, and And of course, the thing with Robert Maxwell is he robbed his workers' pension fund to pay for that.
Honestly, I always thought Boris Johnson struck me as the UK Trump.
Yeah.
I think there are similarities, but in a lot of ways, Johnson's a little more insidious. I actually think he's a lot more clever than he actually lets on. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he is still an idiot in a lot of respects, but there's something a little more insidious about Johnson, I think.
I think Boris Johnson saw a lot of the things Trump was getting away with, and he modeled the character after him.
Johnson was doing it for a long, long time. I think so. Even before Trump was, like, should we say, becoming a massive political figure.
Okay,
Johnson
I didn't know how long Boris had been doing it.
Boris Johnson was I use the term loosely, journalist for certain right-wing publications in the UK before he became a member of Parliament. But I mean, there was a story going back even then where he supposedly gave details out on another journalist so some of his friends could have this journalist beaten up. So yeah, Boris Johnson is a nasty piece of work.
Well, on the topic of newspaper acquisitions and hissy fits,
Alex Jones and Global.
Yep.
The Onion.
Some good news that the Onion now officially owns InfoWars.
Oh my word! Brilliant.
Well,
please fill me in because I've missed this story.
From what I hear, it's actually more like a 6-month loan, and they can renew it in 6 months.
Oh, I hadn't heard that part of it.
Yeah.
I thought they had bought it outright.
Well, Alex Jones is having a hissy fit over it, as you might imagine.
Yeah.
And the Onion is taking none of it seriously.
Well, Alex Jones is claiming that, they've taken his name from him, and it's like, no, they haven't taken his name. However, because in court he used as a defense that he was playing a character and that really wasn't him.
Honestly,
by buying InfoWars, the Onion is entitled to use character.
The funniest thing the Onion could do is just keep InfoWars exactly as it is.
From what I understand, that's pretty much what they're planning.
And just rebrand it as parody. Even keep Alex Jones.
But I've got to admit, that is some next level trolling from the Onion.
Yeah, and I will say that the Onion didn't even place a bid until checking with the families of the Sandy Hook shooting how they felt about it.
Yeah.
So the parents of the kids that got shot were supporting this.
I think, okay, how about this? Any money that InfoWars generates gets donated to the families. That'd be a...
I think that's part of the plan.
I think that's the agreement.
I'm sure that was,
because Alex Jones was supposed to pay off, like, I don't know, a couple of $1 billion to them. And there's no way they're going to see any money from it.
And here's their logo.
Love it. And in the rainbow colors too.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the pride flag colors.
I think the only thing that can make it better is have a frog in the background waving like a pride flag.
Yeah.
And he always got fired up about us making the frogs gay. And nobody ever mentioned that right here in Minnesota, we've got a couple of streams where the frogs are growing 5 and 6 legs. Nobody ever mentioned the chemicals that are doing that.
It wasn't even making him gay. It was making him trans. Actually, there was some debate as to the thing. Basically, some frogs have the ability to switch sexes. Depending on certain chemical or environmental pressure, and the specific chemicals that were getting to the water may have had that effect on frogs. It wasn't really determined that it actually was, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
there are a bunch of species of fish and amphibians that can do that.
Godless Granny, I think, probably could correct me on this one because I'm not a lawyer, and I think she either is or is closer to it than I am. But in the U.S., public figures have a very hard time when trying to sue for defamation or slander.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you have to prove actual malice. Anyone who is not a public figure does not have to prove actual malice. You just have to prove that what they said was false and it harmed you. But because public figures are considered open to scrutiny, you have to prove that it was done maliciously, that they did it with the intention of bringing you. Well, it has to be more. It can't be just public shame because that's permitted. But you have to have lied about them with the intent of I'm not even sure exactly what the standard is. I can't remember, but it's called malice.
I know, like defamation and libel, it's a bit different in the UK from what I remember. It's very different because it's kind of the burden. I mean, I think there's been some amendments, but the burden of proof was always on the defendant. Basically, so the one doing the suing, kind of didn't have to prove their case. They had to prove the other side had to prove that they didn't defame.
Right.
Yeah, it's I mean, there's pros and I think there's pros and cons to it because I think a lot of it was sometimes it was like big, powerful newspapers or whatever writing complete shit about people. That they'd have to actually, if they were taken to court, they'd have to prove. There's a lot of pros and cons with it, the whole thing. But then, actually, a guy I mentioned earlier, that guy Maxwell, he abused the hell out of that system of firing off writs everywhere, like especially it's the publication Private Eye, which is kind of like. But you could say it's like a British version of The Onion, but they also do some like actual really good investigative journalism as well. And actually probably do the best investigative journalism of any publication in the UK. But they had a joke when Maxwell dies about being read the last writ. So
I believe in the United States and many other countries will not entertain defamation lawsuits originating from the UK because the standard is so low.
Well, when the U.S. laws on defamation and libel were written, they were written specifically to be counter to those in England. Most of U.S. law is based on English law, but this is one of the exceptions where they the law to be exactly the opposite of what it was in England. And I don't know that English law is the same, but back in the colonial period, in English law, the rule was the greater the truth, the greater the libel. And so the plaintiff just need to show that what they said about him was not true to win the lawsuit. Here in the United States, it was exactly the opposite. If somebody said something about you that was true, it's not libelous because it's true. Here you prove that it's false in order to win your case. Is it still that way in the UK there?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's kind of the thing of I believe the burden of proof actually lies with the defendant by and large. I mean, it's one of those things that it's been amended and sort of I'm
not talking about the burden of proof. I'm talking about whether or not the allegation is true or not.
I couldn't tell you, honestly.
Okay. Well, I need to get going, but thank you all for having me. And yeah,
thank you for stopping in.
You're welcome. And Jenny, we all miss you.
Yep, and we'll all see you on your channel in a couple of weeks.
Okay, very good.
Good to see you, Granny.
Yep.
You too, Jeff.
Well, actually, ow. I was going to say, that was... That might be the last time I talk to Godless Granny as the Sinister Porpoise Bachelor of Science.
Oh.
Because the next time I'll be the Sinister Porpoise Master of Science.
Master of Science, yes.
Yay. So when do you graduate?
May 9th.
Awesome. Well done.
I still think we need Dr. Porpoise, but I need to figure out how to make that work financially.
Yeah. You can always do the Kent Hovind route.
I could do that now before I earn my master's.
Hello, my name is the Sinister Porpoise.
I could probably just turn in like his entire dissertation with just that line changed and probably still get it as long as I pay them enough money.
I've got a guy that I work with. He's a sort of student in the UK, but you know he's actually got like a PhD or something from a university in because he's from Egypt originally, and whatever it is, I don't quite understand how it works, but whatever it is it's like accredited in Egypt, it's not accredited in the UK or something. I don't quite understand how that works, but when I got talking to him, I was telling him about Kent Hovind, and he's told him about the way he started off his doctoral thesis with the words, "Hello, my name is Kent Hovind." And he's like, no, he couldn't believe what I was saying. I was like, and I said, yeah, and I said, do you want to know where? I said, if you Google Kent Hovind's doctoral thesis online, the first site that comes up is WikiLeaks. That's or it always used to be anyway. It's like that well-known academic journal WikiLeaks.
I keep putting the offer out there, and nobody's taking me up on it. All you have to do is mail me $5,000 and wait 6 months, and I'll send you a certificate that you completed the courses and your diploma.
Well, I remember Jenny said she wanted a degree in something, so I made her this. It's a certificate. The certificate is presented to Jenni Morgan with a PBEEHD in gender stuff, signed by some asshole.
Yeah. I have to step away for a minute.
I suppose I could just like change my title to Dr. Sinister Porpoise, but
yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I would still be closer to being a real doctor than Kent Hovind because my other degrees are real.
Yeah. To be honest, like I've done like, I've basically got like GCSEs is kind of like my limit of my educations. I not quite true. I did have to do some further education with old qualifications we got called City and Guilds, which were like old tradesmen's kind of qualifications. But
very old, boy.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're very old in the. But I think even I probably have more academic qualifications than Kent Hovind. I mean, I do like the fact that I think it was when
Rock has more qualifications.
Yeah. I think it was Simon Dan actually who, when Kent Hovind was trying to challenge him to a debate on YouTube somewhere, Simon Dan made the counter offer to him and says, I'll tell you what, here's what I'll do. I will fly out to America and I will debate you at Dinosaur Adventureland, providing you can just get a passing grade on a GCSE science test. That's all you've got to do is just take that and just get a passing grade. It doesn't have to be Hovind bottled the challenge. He's like,
hell, I'd like to see him get a passing grade on a grade school test.
Yeah.
That guy's a con man.
I'm glad he doesn't know who I am because I don't want him to teach. Because he would probably try to teach me math. It's like, thanks, Kent, but I've had enough math as a computer science major, and when my job was to tell people that here's your assignment, don't kill each other, I taught me real science than he ever did.
And I think it's a shame that Eric Hovind went down in the same con man route as his father.
I don't know. I think parts of Eric Hovind's story are hilarious.
Well, I mean, for a while, I mean, I know Eric pretty much is, even though he and his dad are not exactly on the best terms, that he just quotes his dad word for word in a lot of his stuff.
He uses the same arguments.
Yeah, but he was for a while trying to do something different. That he was, instead of like parroting his father, he was trying to parrot Sci-10 Bruggencate for a while. He was trying the whole pre-sub apologist thing.
He's one of the earliest things that got me to become an atheist in the first place. The dude,
I was in him so arrogant.
Yeah, I was in a Star Trek forum back in the day, and somebody posted a link to his website, and he had a tracker on it, so he tracked it back to the forum and joined the forum and started arguing with everybody. So that's my first introduction to Sci-10.
I think one of the first atheist versus theist debates I ever watched online, it was Sci against Dillahunty. And I had no idea who Dillahunty even was at that time, but
so keep in mind what I find most amusing about Eric Hovind isn't that he parrots Kent Hovind. It's that after Kent went to jail, he seized the reins of his ministry.
Oh yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
And would not give it back to him when he got out of jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was making too much money off of it.
I mean, they're
maybe, yeah, they are. But it's like, look back at some of those old seminars. Maybe you shouldn't have bragged about beating Eric when you were a kid, Kent.
Yeah, really. What was that for a dentist appointment? If I remember.
Well,
correctly?
he taught his spawn well enough to be selling Latril to cancer patients.
Yeah.
And then when he got out of prison, he joined him, not even 60 days out.
Yeah.
And for that.
But then but of course, obviously, I mean, we should be surprised that Kent might have beaten Eric a bit when he was a kid. I mean, now that Kent is also a convicted domestic abuser.
Well,
so
Kent's a tired. Sorry, yeah, he is. Kent's a tired old narcissist, and I think people just need to stop giving him attention.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like the thing is, like, I think if you've watched one Kent Hovind debate, you've kind of watched them all, because he literally has the same script and somehow he managed to get away with this for a long time. But
until he gets
the one thing
conspiracy cats.
I'd say the first. I would say there was a few people who fucked him up before Cats did. Aaron Ra definitely. Aaron Ra definitely threw him off.
That was a good one. I also liked it.
Aaron Ra was serious.
Yeah,
conspiracy cats just made a fool of him.
Oh, Cats made a fool of him. Yeah.
Aaron Ra, he was doing it drunk.
No, he wasn't. No, Aaron wasn't doing. He wasn't drunk, but he had a beer during the stream, and
he had more than one.
But
this is he made Catchy made songs for
another guy I'd say who really I think wrecked him was the late Bill Ludlow. Ludlow demolished Kent Hovind.
Okay, my favorite thing about that old non sequitur debate is like when Kent Hovind calls Aaron Ra, it's like, "Come on, you moron!" It's like, and Aaron's like, "Calling me a moron will not hide your failures in this debate."
Yeah. Well, I do think. I think what we did was Kent actually learned a new word. He learned the word eukaryote from that debate. That's about the only thing I think Kent took away from it.
Well, the reason that Aaron Rod decimated him is that Kent Hovind was not allowed to stay on script.
Yeah,
That's
but
the key.
that was kind of the thing Aaron, I think, negotiated, saying, I'm not doing like a structure. Basically, he was trying to stop Kent from his Gish Gallop.
He wasn't going to
that was the plan, and so he said, no, we're going to have an open discussion but he wasn't going to do this whole 20-minute open, 20-minute rebuttal, that sort of formula, because he knows that's what Kent thrives on, because Kent will just throw out so much shit you do not have time to respond to it all.
Yeah, and he would not let and wouldn't let Kent.
Yeah,
do
he
his
would
thing.
not. Like, he was trying. He would not let. I mean, really, they spent the better part of 2 hours on essentially one question.
Yeah,
that Kent kept trying to dodge.
All right, if you send me $5 and follow my YouTube channel, I will send you a certificate that says you're a doctor of something. I don't know what. Maybe a doctor of marine biology. Keep in mind, this is accredited nowhere and means absolutely nothing.
It's a bit,
No, I'd be
like
careful
my
with that
ordination in Judaism, to be honest.
Make them a doctorate in Narnia.
There we go. That's a better one.
I wonder if Kent Hovind has thought of trying to create his own school and just handing out degrees for money.
Ooh.
Worthless
That's what I was
degrees.
trying to do.
A doctorate of Arcane ecology.
Hey,
They can learn all. They can be an expert in sandworms.
I can give you a great looking diploma, and most people are not going to get close enough to read that it's from St. Paul Street, from St. Cloud Street University instead of St. Cloud State University.
Do you know I actually did do you know I was actually on Vonrek's channel one time. We did it's one of the few times I've ever played D&D in my life. We did a one shot, and the premise was that we were tax inspectors raiding Dinosaur Adventureland. Yeah, and I had literally, I was on a stream with Ring and Chaos, and I threw that out there as a joke when they were just talking about D&D. I says, could you do a one shot where we're going to try and find Kent Hovind's tax returns? And for some reason, Ring and I threw that out as a joke, and Ring and Chaos are like, we see possibilities here. It's like, so yeah, we actually did it. It was myself, Ring was DM. I was there, Chaos, and I think X-Cult Baby. We did a one shot in D&D, going into Kent Hovind's Dinosaur Adventureland. I do remember Matt Powell was like a sort of boss we had to fight before we got to Kent.
If we had someone who would DM or be a game master here, I bet we could have some fun with stuff like that with the people we have here.
Yeah,
like
Mike, and hello, Aunt Jer. Was wondering why you weren't here before.
Like do a Call of Cthulhu style. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, it did help the stream, the fact that Ring can do a pretty decent impression of Kent as well. Probably not quite as good as Dr. Josh Bowen does, but Ring does a pretty decent Kent impression.
Well, you could have different types of doctorates, too. You could be, is it Juris Doctor, which is a lawyer. You could be an educational doctor, which means your degree's in education. You can have like a medical doctor. You can be a doctor of chiropractic, which I think most of you would not consider that a doctor. I mean, there's also the doctor of philosophy. There's also a doctor, I think a doctor of theology is a doctor of philosophy. But yeah, I think it would be fun if you maybe do like a Call of Cthulhu style adventure where I don't know. Kent Hovind and Spirit Science are merging for some bizarre reason. Nicholas to stop it.
It's called batshit squared.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we ever got to it, but I did privately, I think, suggest to Ring one time that we ought to do a sequel at the Ark Encounter, but we never got to it.
Ooh, that would be a great place to have people summon Cthulhu or some elder god. It's like Ken Ham is actually a front for like a Lovecraftian or for Cthulhu cult.
You know, one of my favorite bits with the Ark Encounters, like, you know, they've got kind of like a cutaway of how the ship works. And if you look in there, well, their idea is to have like a bucket scoop, you know, that's like lifting all the shit out and dumping it. And that contraption is powered by a Triceratops on a treadmill.
I mean, one of these days, I'm going to have to go through all the math that disproves the Ark. Other than just like the timescales don't work for population growth. I mean, just do the math to show it's like there's no way the Ark can hold this much.
Yeah. There's no way the Ark could actually float as a boat.
Torn in two if they tried to use it.
I think people have done that before. Actually, people who know shipbuilding stuff have done that before. Actually,
that's not math. That's just engineering. And the largest wooden ship ever built was, I think, the Ark has about the same dimensions as the Edmund Fitzgerald or the Titanic.
Yeah.
Although I think the Edmund Fitzgerald was a little longer.
Yeah, we have built wooden boats.
And it took more man hours to build than there would be in 120 years.
Yeah, we have built boats, wooden boats as big or larger than in the Ark, but they required reinforcements with metal.
No, actually, we never built one that
And
was
they
larger
still
than what
sunk.
the Ark came out to be.
Now the Arks, there are modern ships that have the same. Modern ships that they're saying have the same dimensions as the Ark, and some of them do carry livestock.
Yeah, but not
wood.
No,
they also don't carry that many animals, and they have extensive ventilation systems. What? Oh, this is just a sunset. Is this where Jenny was, or is this her hometown?
This was from her hospital from her hospital window.
I mean, Jenny was an excellent photographer. If anyone didn't know that already.
We were mentioning that before we actually jumped in. Porpoise. It was one we were talked about earlier in the stream. But...
Yeah. This is what she at the time she thought this was going to be her last photo she ever took, but she ended up taking a few more after this.
Yeah, well, that's why I had put the camera in the thumbnail, because the photography was such a big thing to her.
Largest wooden ship was the Wyoming.
Yep.
This was the largest wooden ship ever, the Wyoming, 450 feet long, 50 feet wide, and it's sharp.
Yep, and that one already had metal bracings.
Yeah, that's what I was
and
saying.
the Ark, if you convert the units, came out to over 500 feet long, depending on how much.
450 to 500 feet long.
Yeah.
75 to 80 feet wide, or 85 feet wide.
Yep.
I
yeah,
mean,
so the Ark was still bigger than the largest wooden ship that we've ever built.
I mean,
and the Wyoming proved to be unstable in high seas.
And,
wasn't the greatest story ever about the Ark Encounter that the fact that they tried to claim insurance for flood damage?
Yes.
Well, that was not actually to the Ark itself, but it was funny.
But it was a funny story though.
But the great part of it, the real punchline, was they tried to claim flood insurance for the Ark Encounter, and the insurance company refused it because that was an act of God.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think they should let me in sometime with water testing equipment to make sure the ship can keep water inside.
I forget the name of the film now, but there was a British comedy with Billy Connolly in it where like a boat of his or something was destroyed, and the insurance company said act of God, so he ended up taking the church to court.
Yeah, but somebody had done a calculation because Ken Ham, tries to minimize it and say that they only needed, 14,000 animals or something. And somebody did the calculation on that and determined that a year's supply of food for 14,000 animals would have filled the ark before you put the animals in.
Even more so.
Well, there's not there. Like I said, there's tons of math that disproves it. Like the one I did was about how long it would take the population to grow back from 8 to the time of Jesus Christ.
That's why the dinosaurs are extinct, is because after they all got off of the ark, of course, every time the carnivores ate something, a species went extinct. And for some reason, the carnivores just had a real taste for dinosaur.
I mean, there's even the math behind the heat problem. It's like showing how hot the Earth would be.
Yeah, Gutsick Gibbon did a good one on the heat problem.
How much water there was, I think we calculated that at one point.
Yeah, and where the water went to afterwards. That's still a big question.
Well, that's not the math, just how much water there was.
Yeah.
I mean, how much pressure would have been put on the boat during that storm, because just the rain pressure alone from that storm, as bad as it was supposed to be, probably would have greatly damaged the ark.
Yeah, how fast the rain would be coming down just to cover the whole ocean in the 40 days of rain.
Yeah, well, I mean, my favourite sort of whole routine on Noah's Ark, and I have to say, I heard this years ago before we knew certain things about this gentleman, but Bill Cosby's routine on the Ark used to crack me up.
Yeah, I had the album he had that on back in the 70s. And it was a funny routine.
Yeah. Ricky Gervais's one isn't bad either. I will say that, and I'm not even a fan of Ricky Gervais, but that was quite funny.
I never thought Ricky Gervais was funny, but that's okay. I mean, people's senses of humor are different.
I'm not a massive fan of his either, Porpoise, but I would say that particular one on the Noah's Ark one was quite funny.
He just comes off as
just to be. He's a smarmy get. I don't believe me. He's a smug get.
Even without his terrible stance on trans people, he just comes off as ranty, not funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you watch Louis Black in his stand-up specials. Now, he is hilarious when he's doing his bit on The Daily Show, but it's it doesn't translate well to the stage when he's by himself.
Well, 1,051,000 hours in 120 years, and according to with modern tools, a 1,000 plus workforce. Going 3 years, it was over 6 million man hours. So it took 6 times the amount of hours and more than 6 times the amount of man hours in 120 years using modern tools. They're debunked.
Well, and you're reminded a lot about how Trump is famous for screwing his contractors. How do you think Noah's contractors felt when he just, pulled up the gangplank and let them all drown?
I'd hate.
Maybe that's what Trump got is.
I'd hate to reference the Bill Cosby routine, but how long can you tread water?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Noah had the entire arc on credit.
And then he would let his creditors on board, I guess. Oh, I see. Ivy is reminding us of something.
Oh. Mage, can you catch that? I was trying to find something here.
This Commander, you need to go tomorrow. It's an important day.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it's getting pretty late over there, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to say I'm probably getting near to my time where I need to go and catch some sleep. So I think I'm going to jump off. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Perps. I mean, wish it could have been under better circumstances, but
feel free to come back anytime.
Yeah, you know, I will do. But I mean, it is going to be. It ain't going to be quite the same anymore, is it?
No.
But you know, just gonna say, gonna miss you, Jenny. So I'll see you all later.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
So is tomorrow the day they destroy the Earth to make way for hyperspace bypass?
Well,
Never
I know
mind.
it was supposed to be on a Thursday. I don't know which one. Shoot. Oh, well, by the time I find the memes, the joke's past.
It's okay. Sorry, I'm looking at the picture she took and seeing what's in there. I can see a car. Obviously, it's a picture of the sunset, but you can see like this white car over here. Bunch of buildings. Looks like some kind of warehouse. Oh no, that's a car park.
Here, make it a little easier.
Well, yeah, it's definitely the sunset, and it looks like that was taken when there was snow on the ground.
Well, I mean, it was the border to Minnesota, so that only narrows it down to not being July or August.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, this is around when she first got the diagnosis, and she was figuring,
Yeah.
this is the end.
Yeah, so that was probably like January.
I mean, I wish I could have taken my either my video equipment out a couple nights ago here because we had like a lightning storm. It was almost like a strobe light.
See, February, according to the date I saved this,
Okay.
it says February 8th on Sunday.
No, 2 days before my birthday. Every day is the day they destroy the Earth. But it's only Thursday where it gets destroyed by Vogan's Maya. And if we're unlucky, they may read us poetry first.
And what's worse, listening to a Trump speech or listening to Vogon poetry?
Yeah, I was gonna say
You bring
Vogon
up-
poetry at least might actually make some sense sentence to sentence.
You bring up an interesting point. Is Trump a Vogon? I think you may be onto something here. That might explain the unnatural skin tone of his face. We all think it's bronzer, but no, he's a Vogon. All right, no one is even bothering with this one.
No, I checked with the Galactic Alliance, and he wasn't any species they could identify. Ah, damn it.
Oh. Yeah, and speaking of which, I think I found a great new way to solve the problem of school shootings in America.
Stop having schools?
No. We just need to make sure every school builds a ballroom.
Oh, yes.
Because apparently that's what it needs to make people safe from that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's for the claims of this third shooting being fake. I've been trying to figure out how would they get a guy who was vehemently against Trump to go along with it.
Well, first of all, was he, do they have like a prior history, like social media that he
Yes.
was against Trump?
Yes, in fact, I'm pulling up this right now.
But the other part of it is, how hard would it be to find MAGA people who would sell out for enough money?
I don't think it's hard to find people who sell it for enough money.
Yeah.
How did the news of trying to assassinate President Donald Trump at Saturday's White House Correspondents' Dinner go from tweeting about Super Smash Brothers to allegedly calling himself the friendly federal assassin in a message sent before the attack? We dug through thousands of his deleted posts to find out how. Cole Allen, a 31-year-old part-time teacher, posted for years as C-Force 3000 on X. Until 2023, it was almost entirely about the Nintendo game Super.
Oh, and most of his posts are now deleted. I checked on both Blue Sky and Twitter.
Smash Brothers, sharing strategy and video clips, promoting his YouTube channel, even taking part in online tournaments. A Justice Department official confirmed to CNN that Allen used the X account. Then, in 2024, his post turned political. In May, he was retweeting posts comparing Trump to Hitler, and after the Butler, PA, and Florida assassination attempts against Trump that summer, he was resharing posts basically speculating that they were staged. Archived posts are filled with reposts attacking Trump, questioning the 2024 election results, and expressing anger at the direction of the country. Then, days after the election, he quit X, leaving for bluer skies. He wrote, "I don't think there's much reason to be on here anymore." He moved to Blue Sky, an alternate to X, under the handle Cold Force, the same nickname he'd later used to sign his alleged statements before Saturday's attack. And on Blue Sky, his rhetoric escalated. His posts on Blue Sky were deleted, but we were able to review archived data and retrieve his posts. In a post archived in December 2025, he wrote, "Best time to buy a gun was days ago. Second best time is today." According to federal law enforcement investigators, he'd already legally bought a handgun and shotgun at that point. Last month, he wrote, "Put a traitor back in office, get treason." Roughly 6 weeks later, he boarded a train from Los Angeles to Washington and allegedly opened fire outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner before he was apprehended. He was later charged by federal prosecutors with attempting to assassinate the president and remains in jail. How did the man...
And there is some conflicting information as to exactly how far he got. Some of them say he only got to the lobby before he was stopped, and some others say he managed to get some upstairs, but neither report has him actually getting into the actual area where Trump was. There was some gunshots fired that you can actually hear people ducking, but those shots were not by him. It was by the federal agent at him. Yes.
I don't believe it was a false flag like some people are saying, but it is. The whole thing does look a little suspicious.
Yeah, there are some suspicious elements to this. I will admit that much.
There's a bunch of weird stuff, both from some footage that came out from inside there and from some of the reporters who was there, that it seems to indicate that some of the people high up in the government weren't really taking it seriously, like they knew there was never any danger.
The only way his posts could be fake is if Trump had this planned out a year ago.
And a lot of people are reading everything. Are reading a lot into Caroline, so it's like, oh, shots will be fired.
Yeah, that was probably more reference to the comedic jabs that tend to happen during these conferences.
Yeah. But on the other hand, they're trying to get Jimmy Kimmel fired again because 3 days before he had made a joke about Melania being a widow.
It was a funny joke. She just didn't want
it was a good joke, yeah.
And yeah, I don't think Melania I don't think Melania wanted to post that. I think that was someone told her, it's like, oh yeah, I should do this. Because I don't think Melania cares.
No.
I think Melania just wants to stay in the background, enjoy the money, and not be bothered.
I really do think Melania is just waiting for him to die so she can get her inheritance and get out of there. But she's probably locked into an airtight prenup, so if she leaves before he dies, she doesn't get anything.
Which is why I don't know. I mean, it's easy to say this, but it's like she doesn't really seem to like the idea of being first lady.
Yeah. Well, I think she married him figuring that McDonald's was going to kill him in a year or two, but...
A reasonable assumption.
And, I think Trump would have learned what happened the last time he tried to get Kimmel fired, that this does not work well for him.
Yeah.
It's like people do not want him trying to go after. At least my Clapper account is too small for him to take notice of.
Yeah, with the way the administration's been going, I have been rather glad that my channel never grew to any noticeable size.
Well, I mean, I'm about to hit 10K followers probably in early May, but it's still not a big account there, so.
Okay, I didn't know that she's been able to change the prenup before. Yeah, he has definitely beat the odds, but of course, being president gave him access to the best doctors in the country.
Yeah, that tends to help.
But he can't, I don't know.
Okay, Jester, you got me there.
Well, keep in mind, Kimmel doesn't write those jokes.
Yeah, I think the drug allegations actually have more to do with his sons and his son-in-law.
Oh, I'm sure not everything Trump eats is a Big Mac. He eats filet of fish.
Yep.
I imagine he occasionally delves into a chicken sandwich, too. And what does he think about McDonald's breakfast lineup? Does he love the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit as much as I do?
They did give one of the reporters at one time had, said a thing about what he had eaten on the plane. And basically it was like 7 McDonald's sandwiches, Big Macs, chicken sandwiches, and fish fillets. And it was like some combination of like 7 of those that he ate in like a 5-hour flight.
What I don't get is you figure that the White House can hire some of the best chefs in the country.
Yeah.
And he wants to eat McDonald's.
And I'm really betting that the chefs in the White House are like crying when they get his orders, because it's like they know they can prepare good food and all he wants is this crap.
Yeah. And, allegedly, he intends to enjoy the occasional 13-year-old.
Yeah. I don't think the chefs can help him prepare that one.
No, but there were some pretty wild accusations that with the stuff we know about the whole Epstein files, that they would seem outlandish, but maybe they're not outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah, really.
According to some accusations, there's at least a dozen bodies buried on Epstein's ranch.
How do we know? Okay, I need to stop. Because how do we know Melania hasn't been trying?
Well, I really thought that she had paid the second gunman. You know, that was my personal theory that made the most sense.
Oh, and also it's worth noting that 2 out of the 3 gunmen have been right-wingers.
Well, I imagine this is also taking place. Have you heard about the warehouse fires that are popping up all over the country?
Oh yeah, I heard of those.
Yeah,
If-
well, I
if they just
think
paid
a
him
lot of
better.
those- huh?
If they just paid him better.
No, actually, I think a lot of the warehouse fires are related to the fact that ICE bought up a bunch of warehouses, but then the local communities have prevented them from making them into detention centers.
No, that's not what's going on. Basically, the workers at these warehouses aren't being paid the living wage, so they're rioting.
Okay.
All I can say is frontotemporal dementia needs to hurry up.
Mm.
Or whatever it is. He could actually have Alzheimer's disease, but most of the doctors I see commenting on his mental state are saying frontotemporal dementia.
Yeah, well, I've seen several of them say that was dementia of one form or another, and
Did Ned leave and forget to log out?
yeah, I think so. I'll take him off the screen.
Hi, Athena. You know the rules. If you're going to come up, you need to show your face for a little bit. There you go. You fulfilled the contractual obligations, Kitty. The unspoken feline clause.
Yep.
I don't know if the rumors of him doing drugs are true or not.
Well, like I said, I'm pretty convinced that his sons and his son-in-law are doing drugs.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Trump is doing drugs.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't know if it's true.
Yeah, I don't know about Trump, but you know, as far as the rest of the family, probably most of them.
I mean, The Apprentice is also where the rumors that he wears diapers also come from.
Yeah, but then we found out that those were true.
So probably. I mean, it's clearly the man is dangerously unstable.
Yeah.
I don't know
The
if
diaper thing is what really broke me. You know, it's like MAGA made no sense to me to begin with. But when they were carrying signs with slogans like "Real men wear diapers," it's like,
And wearing diapers.
Nothing that can shake these people, you know, into some reality.
And walking around wearing diapers in honor of him.
And somebody was selling Trump diapers, which was probably the only use I would endorse. Just when you put them on the kid, put them on with the face inside.
And I have to admit, it's like, you know, if there's one company that's benefiting from this Donald Trump's war in Iran, it's got to be the Lego Corporation. And I'm sure their profits will help defend Denmark and Greenland if that is necessary.
Well, the ones who are making it big, of course, are the munitions manufacturers. Because Trump has used somewhere between a third and half of the U.S. stockpile of various sorts of missiles.
You know, it's almost like it's a terrible idea to like start multiple wars without replenishing your supply.
Yeah.
No one has ever accused. Well, there is one person that has accused Donald Trump of being a genius.
Yeah. Well, the thing is about missiles is that, you know, the companies don't keep their production at full tilt for those things all the time. So we can't replace them as fast as they're using them up. It's going to take at least a couple of years for us to get our stockpile back to what it was.
I'm saying, unless he gets some supplies on some U.S. ships, I'm thinking there might be a mutiny.
Yeah. Yeah, I had heard too that we were having the same kind of problems as the Russians, that they were having to ration the food on some of the ships.
Well, those ships are past their tour of duty. They need to be sent home and other carriers sent out. So they can resupply and just... And then, oh well. Hi, Athena.
Yeah, but just literally, some of the soldiers and sailors over there are not even getting a full dinner anymore because they've run so short on supplies. Because Trump didn't figure that out. He didn't plan ahead to have supply ships there. You know, he didn't plan for there being ships to drop off supplies every week.
Athena, you are much smarter than Donald Trump.
That's a pretty low bar. Trump has set the bar so low that we have to bore underground to find it.
So low it might as well have been set by William Lane Craig. I don't know.
I don't know, but I guess we can wrap up the show here for today. We've been
going for a while, yes.
Yeah, almost 2.5 hours.
And
well, you know how Jenny would have said that we need to go to 3-hour mark or keep going.
Yeah. Well, we can keep it going for 4 more minutes, and then we'll be at 2.5 hours. So.
And I have a kitty that wanted my attention.
Mm-hmm. So.
Because, go ahead.
Porpoise, just do you have any closing comments? Anything you want to say?
Well, I mean, Jenny was very opinionated, but she stuck by what she believed in. And I didn't know her very long, but a lot of people will miss her. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Mad Computer Scientist with Papper. You can follow me on the Sinister Porpoise here. I'm slowly trying to bring that one back. But honestly, it's like I've just been so busy. I haven't really had much time to do a lot of long form content. And hopefully I'll have a little more time once at least one of these schools I have to do work for is over. Unless I decide to go on and get a PhD.
Yeah.
And remember, be gay, do crimes.
All right. I'll probably not do my Thursday night midnight show this week. I just kind of want to decompress and.
Okay.
But if anybody needs to talk or blubber or ramble incoherently, because they just need an ear, I'll be open to that. So you can just hit me up and put up a little private live stream thing on StreamYard, so you can come in and just ramble on. It goes for anybody on the panel, anyone in the chat, just whatever. If you need to cry, go right ahead.
Yep. Well, same thing. Raging and I will be back here same time next week. See whoever else has time to join us. So, until then, let us just raise the parting glass to Jenny. Bye-bye all.